everybody, welcome to Big E's Auto. I'm Big E. Welcome to the hottest balls edition of today's Big E. I tell you what, boys and girls, it is freaking hot. I think I sweat my balls off about a half hour ago, so I guess I'm one of those new transgenders, so I can identify as whatever the fuck I want right now. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. Working on TURD. So, bring it up to speed. We removed the front bumper for weight savings. So, I was lying awake in bed the other night and couldn't sleep because realizing that, yes, we took weight off the front of the car. But did we take weight off the front of the car and compromise the rigidity of the frame? In other words, now you have your K member and you have your radiator cross member here. So that somewhat holds it together. But depending what this thing does when it leaves the line, is it gonna, that lack of support, is that gonna become an issue? So what I figured I was gonna do to save weight, where I'm gonna make 2 bars, I'm gonna X them across the car to somewhat tied together, but still be somewhat of a weight savings. So what I did, I went ahead and I fabricated mounts out of some 3/8 steel, okay? Now what you want to do, if you bolt this up, you want to have it off center, okay? Have your hole off center so you have room here, so that way when you cut your bar, which on a 4th gen Camaro will be about 3 foot 1 inch, okay? So that way when you weld, it gives you room. You can weld in this area here. Can you see that? Let me get it closer. So you have all this space here that you can position this bar to weld it and not interfere with your hole, okay? If you decide you could, that's an idea if you want to make it bolt on. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to weld it right onto the frame. Obviously this car, at this point, I don't ever see me making it street legal. So, therefore I'm just going to weld it on. So, I'm going to, let me put this down. I apologize, I was supposed to use someone else's generator because mine was buried. And of course I wasted an hour. There's no gas in it. The little bit of gas that was in it was nothing but varnish and all kinds of other stuff. So you ever have where you borrow someone's stuff and it's just, screw it, I just dug mine out and I'm using that. So I'm going to bring you guys over here. I don't know if you can try and have you guys see this, but see, I got one here and it's clamped on, and I also ground off the paint here where we're going to weld, so that way to make sure that we get a good bond when we go to weld it. So I already ground that off. I have this in place. I'm going to put the plate on for a little more reinforcement to make it a little stronger than what's there, because again we don't have the bumper. So I'm going to go ahead and start the generator, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can weld these tabs on and get one of the and start getting the tubes on. Okay, so let's see here. Let me fire this thing up. To do, we're going to let that cool. I have my glove here somewhere. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the grip on it. Oh, before I forget, before we go any further, before you weld, frame, anything on your car, make sure you disconnect your negative battery cable, because if you don't, you could fry an ECM, you could melt the cable off. Because that is a lot of current going through there. So make sure you disconnect that stuff. If you want to be doubly sure, disconnect positive and negative battery cable, just to be doubly sure that you're not frying anything. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this off here, okay? And we're going to have to tack that up. I missed it a little bit, but it's good for now for position. So now what we're going to do, and this could be a problem because I didn't realize the engine was that close when you're working in a trailer. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my tabs here, and we're going to try and adjust my clamp here. And we're going to try to get this in place. So I'm going to see if I can move the engine away a little bit, if possible, to kind of give us a little room here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get that other tab on. My ground cable close to where I'm working, so I have a good ground. I'm going to let the generator run, but you should really have the fan on the welder run for a bit after a long cycle of welding. So I'm going to let it run for a little bit. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove the clamp, make sure it's stuck. Remember that one well, I missed it. I'm going to go back and touch that up now. Alright, boys and girls. Whew, it's hot. I'm going to go ahead. So we got 3 of the 4 tabs welded on. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let things cool off. I'm going to weld that 4th one on. And when I come back, we're going to go ahead. I already have the bars pre-cut. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to see if it's possible for me to weld round tube onto the flat surface. So we'll find out here, but a lot of heat here. I'm going to let things cool down. I'll weld that last piece on where the ground clamp is, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get one of the crossbars welded on. Alright guys, so Big E, I'm back. So, we have to reattach that tab. For whatever reason, I have to grind more paint off, but it came off. So I got to re-weld it. But anyway, I went ahead and I put the bar, I'm going to see if you guys can see the bar here in place. I have vice grip holding it here, vice grip here, and I tried to center it. So I'm going to go ahead now, we're going to start up the generator, and we're going to see if I can get that welded on without too much to do. I gotta let the welder cool off. When we have it in place, I have to go back and fill it in. It does have some strength to it, and it's gonna get stronger when we cross the other bar over top when we do the second bar. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish welding this up. When I come back, we're gonna get that other bar on. Alright guys, we'll go ahead, we're gonna weld up that other piece. You have to put a slight bend in it, which I'll explain later, but I'm going to go ahead and tack weld it in place, and then I'm going to explain what I'm doing. Guys, I'm forced to take a break. My welder keeps kicking off just from the long run time. So I'm going to let everything cool off, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll try again. With that second piece, I'm at a terrible spot here to sit. Where this cross piece, where it crosses over original piece, I actually bend it, not a lot. So when you measure that piece, you might want to add like a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in length to make up for the material you're going to lose in that bend when it comes over across of here. When I get it welded all up, I'm going to go ahead and do a camera shot of it, of how it is. But just really, like I said, today we're just really fighting. We're fighting the heat, And obviously because of that we have equipment issues. So fighting equipment issues, fighting the heat. But to me, I think this is going to be well worth it to help keep the car more rigid. If this thing truly does go up, pull the front wheels up, help tie it together a little better. So I'm going to wait here a little bit, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to see if I can fire stuff up. If it'll work, I'm going to finish welding it in place, and then we're going to finish off with the final. And then of course at that point, at some point I'm going to primer and paint it. But today we're just welding it up, checking the fit, and making sure everything's welded on real nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright guys, Biggie, I'm back. So I got I got everything welded up. It's not pretty, unfortunately, with using the, I don't know if you can see that there. You got the welds there. They're not the prettiest. I'm going to obviously need a grinder, but I was trying to puddle it, but it just wasn't working. I don't know if it's because of the generator or what. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see on this bar, let's see if I can have you, I don't know if you can see I bowed it. And that's on purpose to give clearance for this one. So that's why I did that. So it's a nice little project you can do. I used 3/8 thick steel to make the tabs, and then I used 1/2-inch steel rod for the cross pieces. So, and it's just welded up. I wanted to use my stick welder, but unfortunately the generator didn't work, so I welded it up like that for now. So we'll see if that, hopefully it holds. It seems like it's holding pretty good, and I back welded everything. So anyway, that's going to help tie up the front end a little bit, but still keep it light. So anyway, that's it for today. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, maybe you can say how horrible my welds are. You know, I don't know, I didn't try the other welder yet. I might do better with that one, but with a wire feed it's kind of hard. But anyway, like and subscribe, leave a comment. That's all I got, guys. Honestly, with it this hot and all that welding and stuff, I'm spent. So watch out for each other, take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Biggie's Auto. Bye for now.